Wow, everyone, what a roller coaster ride in Xpeng and Nio this week. This month, Nio started off around $40, went all the way up to $54, $55 this week. Xpeng started the month off around like $20, and that bad boy saw a rise up to, what was it, like $51 at one point? And oh my goodness, that Citron report came and everything came crashing down. Well, let's get into it. All right, everyone, you should know by now, this is not going to be a deep dive analysis, but I am going to discuss my thoughts on primarily Xpeng and Nio, what I think long term, what am I doing in the stocks. There's some stuff out there that not a lot of people are talking about. I think you need to know about this. This could definitely change your mind on what you're doing in either of these stocks. Some of it's pretty big. It's a really big deal. There's a lot going on. One of these stocks has some game-changing stuff that they're working on. That's not being discussed very much. I am extremely interested in it. You know, where's this market going? Where's it headed? I'm going to give my thoughts on that. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this. Which of these stocks, which of these EV stocks are you in? Which one are you hitching your wagon to long term? We're talking Tesla. We're talking Xpeng. We're talking Lee. We're talking Nio. There's others out there, but those are, those are the big ones. That's where all the FOMO is right now. That's where all the craziness is. That's what I'm in. That's what I'm most excited about. So if this is the kind of content you'd love, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Help me grow the channel. And again, let's get into this. All right, so let's take a look at some numbers for Nio, Xpeng, and Tesla. Currently, let's look at the float. This is the shares that they have available out in the pool. Right now, Nio has a 1.36 billion float. They have 1.36 billion shares out there. This is huge. I will get into it in a bit later. Xpeng, XPEV, on the other hand, they only have 705 million. Tesla's right around a billion at 947 million. As you can see, based on this, their share price, Nio is 44.56, Xpeng is 41.99, Tesla's 408.50. If you look at the highs, Nio's been as high as 54.18. Just happened the other day, and then boom, Citron, the world came crashing down. Xpeng had a high of 51. That bad boy was like $20 at the beginning of the November, but the hype train left the tracks. It started blowing its top off, hit a high of 51.27. It pulled back 41.99. Tesla, you know that story. It hit over 500. The S&P 500, the split, man, that thing was out of control. Here we go. Market cap, Nio 60.7 billion, Xpeng 30.85 billion, roughly half of Nio. You know what else? Half of the float, man. That is so big. Again, we're going to get into that. And then, of course, your Tesla market cap's 500 billion. You want to know how to calculate it? It's pretty easy. You just take the float, for example, Nio, 1.36 billion times the share price, and that gives you the market cap. Yes, let's talk about that float, Nio. It's crazy, 1.36 billion. Are you kidding me? And it keeps growing. It was just last year, they were almost bankrupt, going under. The Chinese government bails them out. The Chinese government provides them state-run factories. More on that later. You do not want to miss it. It is very, very critical and important information. But just this year alone, August 27, this is right on their press release. I'll show it to you. Just this year alone, August 27th, 75 million share dilution. 4 days later, August 31st, 88.5 million more shares. A few more days, it's like two days later, another 101 million shares. When is it going to stop? All right, so here's the deal. Nio, $1.36 billion float. Their factory, they're on pace, to do about 45K. They're not going to hit 45K. As far as I understand, their factory has a max capacity of doing 150K a year, but that requires adding a second shift and everything running like a well-oiled machine, which that just does not happen. You're always going to have delays, line, what have you. It's never 100%. You never have that full 100% uptime. They owe the Chinese government money. They need to buy that back. And in the EV world, in order to be profitable, you got to scale. As far as I know, the only factory they have is that state-owned Chinese with a max capacity of 150K. They have not built their own factories. Well, this is huge. We'll get into this with Xpeng. Their float's almost twice the size of Xpeng. That's going to directly affect their share price. They're going to need to continue to raise capital. They're going to need to scale out. They're going to need to build their own factories. That takes money. That takes time. These are all things that concern me. But Xpeng, on the other hand, they've done 17,000 deliveries this year, roughly half a Nio. But man, Xpeng's a bit different story. They have their own factories. I believe, as far as I know, they have 2 of their own factories. I think they're doing some out of state-run too, but they've already built out their own factories. Their float's half, so they don't need to dilute. Their cash and cash equivalents, I believe, is around 3 or 4 billion. Coach, man, that is good. They are financially sound right now. Hey, look, Xpeng is basically copying Tesla. I've watched some videos on them. The cars actually look nice. They're new. I forget the model, like the P7. It's the equivalent of the Tesla Model S, but you can get into that thing for like 35 to 50,000. It's basically the same as the Tesla Model 3. It looks really cool. It has really good specs. Look, both of them have a lot going on, but from just purely financial perspective and scale and growth, I do think Xpeng is going to continue to get market share. I don't think they're going to need to dilute shares. They've already built out factories. They're going to be able to scale faster. Again, in that EV market, the faster you can scale, the more profitable you can become. They have a ton of cash on hand. Their deliveries are going up. Their margin has gone from negative to their most recent report where they're now positive. It's not high, it's like 4 or 5%, but as that continues to scale, it's just going to be like Tesla. That's going to continue to go up. So I love me some Xpeng. Again, there's some Xpeng's doing that I'm actually really excited about. It's pretty futuristic, and I don't know how far that off that is, but it's something we're going to get into it in a second. And overall, generally, I kind of want to talk about the whole EV market in general and where my thoughts on where it's headed. Hey, look, it's not all bad for Nio. I like Nio. I'm actually bullish on all of these stocks in general. I will show you what I'm doing in my portfolio. Actually, I'm kind of not sure, but we'll get into that. Nio's got some good stuff going on for it. They got that virtual assistant. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. It looks pretty cool. One thing I do like a lot that Nio is doing is they have batteries as service. There's so many like huge benefits that could come from that. For one, you can get into the car cheaper. You just kind of get on a subscription service. You don't have to worry about your battery going bad or replacing it in 5 or 10 years. As battery technology increases, that's really cool. You can just continue to get the increased range. There's so much cool stuff. It's my understanding that China even has an initiative like rebates on the cars, and part of that, and again, fact check me on this, I'm not 100% sure, just what I've heard. But in order to get that rebate, the battery has to be removable. And as far as I know, Nio is the only one doing that. One really cool thing about the battery as a service, and Xpeng and Nio are going to have to figure this out, other car manufacturers, and I'm sure they'll get a way around it, but it is my belief, hands down, no question, in about 10 years or so, look, I think autonomous driving, I think Tesla's going to crack autonomous driving within the next year or two. Once Doji comes online, which is pretty soon, I think 2021, that's their supercomputer, going to be like the second biggest or first biggest, who knows, they continue to make new ones. Massive supercomputer. Full self-driving is going to be a thing. Robo-taxis, no problem. 2022 to 2025 is my best guess. By 2030, most people won't even be buying cars. Why bother? It's going to be cheaper. Just call a robo-taxi. Just rent a car. Rent a self-driving car as you need. It's going to be cheaper. There's just so much benefit that's coming from it's a completely separate video series. I don't want to get too deep into that. By 2030, there's even people speculating that Tesla and other car manufacturers are just going to stop selling to the public because that's not going to be a thing. It all comes down, like one of the biggest drivers. If you can't tell, I'm the hugest Tesla bull not the hugest, but I'm pretty big. But that full self-driving alone is going to be billions to $1 trillion business right there. Man, this is such an exciting technology. I keep going off the rails. The point I was trying to make with batteries as service and robo-taxis, which is the future, is you can have a fleet of Nios and they're almost maintenance free. Just think about it. You send that bad boy out, it goes out and picks up people. That thing's getting low on power. Oh, no problem. Just self-drive right to one of the Nio battery changes. Boom, 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 done. You're out like 3, 5, 10 minutes. You just non-stop delivering, non-stop making money, passive income at its best. Dude, I see so many future businesses out there. Your venture capitalists hit me up. I can do this all day long. Like car washes dedicated to these self-driving cars just coming up. They deliver a few rides or whatever. Their camera's like, oh, it's getting a little dirty. Take it in. A little quick shine, a little quick cleanup, throw away some trash. We good to go. We back out. We back making money, right? That again, like the Nio, Man, just the battery changes on the fly. What about that Tesla though, man? That's got to come back to home and someone's got to plug it in. I'm sure they'll fix that code though, right? Someone will figure out a way to, like, who knows, man? Maybe that's another business idea right there. Figure out how to make that happen. Oh my goodness, everyone. I could talk about this all day long. I just love this technology so much. It is hands down the future. There is hands down so much money to be made here. Let's take a look. Quick look at my portfolio. What I'm doing. I'm still trying to figure out my plan, but I'm going to show you what I got right now. This could change during the week. I post my trades all the time on Twitter. Follow me at Nostradamus on Twitter.com. Let's get into Tasty Works and let's see what I got going on right now. But hey, if that doesn't interest you, I have chapters down below. There is some other news coming up I'm really excited about, especially in Xpeng. You do not want to miss this. In my opinion, this could be game-changing stuff in the future. So yeah, let's take a quick look at my portfolio. This is my big account. I'm having a pretty good year, man. I was up 60 grand at one point last week, and then but I have so much in these EVs. You know, that Citron report, things came crashing down. I do have 100 shares in Lee. My apologies. I have 100 shares of Lee, coverage strangle around that. Not going to get too deep into this. If you want more on Lee, let me know down below. Comment in the section below. Let me know what you're doing in these stocks. Are you in them? How much you have? What's your cost basis? I want to hear it. Nio, I have 600 shares, man. I'm not gonna lie, that's a lot. I have a coverage strangle around it. Started getting in my own way last week. I sold some covered calls, then I took them back off. Ended up, I'm making profits around all this. I'm up 6 grand for the year on Nio, which is crazy. Kind of considering taking some off because I have such a sizable position, but I have so much conviction. I do think Nio is going to be successful. I think if I can hold that long term, this thing could double. I think Nio by the end of 2021 is my price prediction is anywhere between $80 and $100. $80 and $120 a share I think are very feasible as long as the market continues to hold. CV market is going to continue to boom. So, I don't want to pay those short-term capital gains. Just hold on to it, make a lot of money. But again, it's such a sizable position. Xpeng, the same way. I got 600 shares there. I've been selling a lot of premium around it too. I don't want to get my shares called away. I don't want my position to get too big. But I think Xpeng, again, I think Xpeng has the best potential. My price target on them, they continue to blow numbers out, which I think they will. I think this one is the one that can really run. Unlike Nio, which will probably continue to dilute shares and continue to have some financial problems, Xpeng is going to scale. Their margins are going to go up. I think this stock, man, this thing could go to $120 to $200 by the end of. Am I crazy? Maybe. Hey, look, I'm not a financial advisor. Entertainment purposes only. You shouldn't be listening to people on YouTube and their price targets anyway. It's crazy. Don't go away just yet. I got more exciting news. I want to get to it. It's around Xpeng, man. No one's talking about. Maybe I'm overhyping. I don't know. But me personally, I'm super excited, but help me grow this channel. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I want to hear what you're doing in this stock. I want to start doing live streams. I want to chat with you. I especially want to talk about EVs. It's the market I love the most. Once my goal is right now to hit that 1K. It's such a barrier. You can help me doing that. Again, that like, that subscribe. Once I hit that, I will start doing some live streams, including some market openings, including some earnings plays. We get on, we can discuss some earnings plays. Discuss whatever you want. I want to hear from you. So yeah, the boring company, it's not the exciting news, but that is going to be revolutionary. It's going to change travel. I think that is going to be a huge part of the future over the next few decades. There's another, man, I remember reading about this probably like 3 or 4 years ago. I don't know if it was Xpeng, but now I wouldn't be surprised if it was, but I heard about this not EV, but I heard about this company doing it. I'm just like, man, this is definitely the future. Let's take a look at what that is. Are you kidding me? Drones, of course. Autonomous robotaxi drones, dude. There is so much potential there. What do you think? Am I overblowing it? Am I hyping it? Are other companies? Dude, again, personally, I think there is such a huge market in this in the future. Are they first to market? Are there other people doing it? I'm not sure. Let me know down below. Am I crazy? Are you with me on this? Do you think autonomous? I would get in one, man. I'm sure these things will probably end up George Jetson time, baby. Let's go. I'm trying to pre-order my drone right now. They won't let me. Come on, dude. If those things are made out of plastic, I bet they can make the, mostly plastic. Anyway, would you get in one? Would you buy one? Let me know. Let me know. Talk to me about anything in this video. Again, what stocks you in? Do you like the EV market? Am I out of control? Of course I'm out of control. I could take this off the rails all day long. Again, in the future, let's have some live streams. Let's just sit here and let's discuss it. Let's make that money. Like, subscribe. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Let me know. Let me know what you want to hear more about. I love you all. Let's have a great week and peace.